So let's talk about the Gnostic concept of the Demiurge. Lots of information has been spread on this app for many years, and it's all misinformation regarding the Demiurge. In fact, the people that are spreading this misinformation are victims of the Demiurge themselves, as the Demiurge is essentially an egregor that is the prince of misinformation, if you will. Essentially the god of ignorance, the god of false certainty, and the archetype for every tyrannical ruler that's ever existed since creation. People have equated him with Satan. He's far worse than Satan. He has successfully tricked a lot of people into believing that Yahweh is the Demiurge, but that's not the case. The New Testament refers to him as the God of this world, and he is essentially the veil between ignorance and truth, the threshold between earthly wisdom and divine wisdom. He is an empty shell of false confidence that leads people astray and to do things that goes against the teachings of Christ and, more importantly, against God. One of the main things that gives him sustenance is when a Christian gets on here or goes anywhere in the world and starts to spout a sense of false confidence, where someone is so convinced that the truth that they wield is something that is justified, where they can abandon all sense of morality, as long as it's in the name of God. His influence reaches pastors that likes to dip into the money bank of the church and slip some into his own pocket. He's the voice that influences religious leaders to convince their congregation to go out on senseless witch hunts. He's your Christian CEO who will basically undercut all of his employees in order to gain a profit for himself. He's your Christian politician who's going to lobby with a foreign nation in order to benefit himself, selling out his own constituents. He teaches these people to wear a religious name tag on the outside, however, on the inside is an empty shell, because that's exactly who he is. An empty shell who claims to be the God of this world. His name is not Yahweh, his name is not Jehovah. Jesus actually reveals to us the name of this archetype. When Jesus says that we cannot serve two masters, the word that is used there in Hebrew is Adonai, in reference to serving God and serving Mammon. The word Adonai was a replacement word for the divine name. The Pharisees cut off the congregation from the divine name and used the replacement name, which was Adonai, which took the Spirit of God out of the congregation, and then they replaced it with this word Adonai, and they began to start worshiping Adonai. Granted, the Pharisees and the priests